Hey guys, DELOS here. Man, I need to cut my hair. That's why I'm wearing a hat. I got to shave. I look like a guy who's ready for summer vacation and be cleaned up for the school year. But that's neither here nor there. I wanted to introduce you to new content on the channel that's very unique and really poignant to me. I really wanted to do this more. I want to kind of make my channel more than just me playing video games, because as you see, most of my videos are about me playing video games. So I wanted to do a quick review on the Octopath Traveler demo, and it's going to be released on Nintendo Switch on July 13th. And I want to give my general thoughts on the game because the game is fun. I think that's the general statement. If you stop the video right there, go for it. I can't stop you. But if you want to learn more about my thoughts, basically here they are. And my first thought is the story itself is compelling. The story immediately hooked me when I picked my character. I picked Therion as my first character, and it's a thief. And I played through it, and next thing you know, I'm out on my journey. It took me about 45 minutes to an hour to get through his first chapter, and I was hooked into his whole idea. I don't want to spoil anything. I don't want to say anything that's really mind-boggling, but at the same time, I just want to kind of give you an idea that within the first hour of picking whatever character you start with, you're going to be pulled into the story. Then it took me a little bit of time. I would say about 10 to 15 minutes trying to figure out how do I get the other characters, and then it dawned on me that I have to go to their towns, and that added another layer of depth to the story. That added another layer to how is all of these stories, these 8 stories, going to connect into one giant one cohesive story. And that's kind of what's interesting to me, is that they have 8 individual stories, 8 sets of motivations, and to a degree you're doing a frame story, so very much like the Canterbury Tales, except the Canterbury Tales never finished because Geoffrey Chaucer died before it finished. But the whole idea, this idea of a frame story, and you're taking these small bits and pieces on the same journey. I'm interested to see how the big journey ultimately escalates for these 8 characters, because these 8 characters do have their own motivations, their own reasons, and their own desires. And I think that's where the heart of Octopath Traveler really lies, in that it's a modern day frame story. So if you don't know what a frame story is, it's just a story with different frames. And Jeff, if you really want to know, if you want to learn more, I'll add a link in the description to the English language world, and kind of link you to Canterbury Tales, which is the ideal frame story. Now, from a gameplay perspective, I like the fact that each of these characters have their own dynamic. You have Therion, who was basically a steal gimmick, a thief, and I wanted to steal from everybody. I wanted to steal from everything. I wanted to see my percentage on the possibility to steal. I wanted to grab as much crap as I can get from people and get as much I can, because it was fun. It was unique. It was something cool. It was like every other thief and every other Final Fantasy game. It was a cool mechanic that Square Enix has brought in from the game developers. But then you have Hannet, who's a provoke, who will challenge a lot of people and fight, and almost seemingly against anybody. And I think these are elements to the game that add flavor to the characters. Now you're not playing as the same, oh my goodness, I'm just going to beat them up. No, it's now you get to choose, am I going to steal? Am I going to fight this person? And that's what I'm interested in. And also there's like a dynamic in the game, and I don't want to touch base on it because you can watch the videos on it. There's 2 types of modes you can go with. It's Noble and Road Axe, and both of the acts I did was Rogue. They basically are not fan friendly, they're not family friendly, they're not good acts. They're very much roguish acts. And then the other characters will have like, oh, you get a discount from the store, and you can only challenge people who are at your level or higher. So there's a noble versus rogue acts, and I'm interested to see how that dynamic plays in overall into the gameplay. Now, the combat is your standard turn-based RPG. It's nothing special if you look at it from that perspective. However, there's one element that makes it unique, and that's the concept of breakpoints. Breakpoints are basically how you can power up attacks, or in the case of Therion, increase your odds to steal an item. And I think that's a cool way to do it, where you're gotta manage your breakpoints very carefully, because you gain 1 for every piece of contact, and you can use that to break opponent shields and everything else. And that's where the cat and mouse game, that's where the skill is going to come in, and that's where the skill gap is going to happen. And that's where people will have the most fun, is like, oh my goodness, do I use my breakpoints to steal or use a special ability, or do I use it for straight damage dealing? And I think that's where the nice fine line is going to be with this game, and it's going to be fun to see how people react to that. Now, The one nice touch that I did appreciate is that there's no health bar. I did not find a health bar. Maybe I'm blind, but there is. It is a nice touch if there is no health bar, because now you're randomly guessing like how much more damage do I gotta do, and I think that element takes you away from the whole, oh my goodness, I have to do this much damage and kind of figure doing the math, rather than just play. Just play the game that you want to, and I think that opens up the freedom and options for you. And I think that's the best thing, is that you don't know exactly how much more damage you have to do to a certain boss or a certain enemy before you actually kill it. Just wanted to touch a little base on the artwork and the music. The music and the artwork is great. I absolutely love the music and the artwork. The music I found was so great that I can see myself just listening to the soundtrack if I get a copy of it, and I'm just so amazed at how good it sounds. And the voice acting also is very well done for a full console game. It's relaxing. I think it hits the right beats and the right tones, and each single city has its own identity, and I can't wait to see the characters and how the characters get their own songs. It is great. I love the music. As for the artwork, it's wonderful. It's very old school, spritey. It reminds me of back to the Super NES days of Final Fantasy games, but on top of that, there's still a level of 3D depth to it, especially when walking around the world itself. There's a level of depth that I really appreciate, and I think most games, most 2D games try and stay on the plane, but I just, it's very old school, and I think that's what's the most appealing concept to it. But yeah, those are my general thoughts after playing a demo. You get 3 hours of as far as you can get. Some people have actually seen all 8 characters. They play multiple playthroughs. I'm just going to play my one and wait till July 13th. But yeah, guys, I love it. I can't wait till the game's released, and I'll do a full playthrough on my Twitch channel, which you can find right here. If you want to see more content like this, I'm willing to do it. I'm going to do it. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. It's the only way I can get more followers and more subscribers, and I really would appreciate it. But thanks a lot, guys, for watching the video, and I'll catch you later. Peace.